Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero and pop culture media, and that's, of course, TV shows, movies, video games. We talk about news, a little speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. I'm Mode Poupée, your resident Fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. Ladi, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Beat God of War. Almost made me tear up at the end. Great game. Doing the end game stuff right now. Kicking my ass, but I'm enjoying it.
That sounds about right. I saw that you were tweeting it's your game of the year. That's pretty cool, man. One day,
Yeah.
maybe in 5 years, I'll get around to playing it. So you've been God of War, dude. I had a great freaking weekend watching Christmas stuff. I saw Violent Night, which I highly recommend. It's an awesome Christmas movie with David Harbour, and it is like an R-rated like action fest, like throwback to the 80s and 90s. It's really really good. And I'm waiting on my computer parts to come back. So all that stuff is going on. But of course,
Yep.
that's not what this show is about. The show is about superhero stuff, and we're going to tackle some news. Some news items, things that are going on in the industry. And our main event today, our main topic is going to be talking about what should the new DC studios, what properties should they tackle first, after they have finished their current, the last bits of like DC films that are supposed to be coming out this coming year. So, but we're, as far as news is concerned, we got a few things this week. For instance, we're going to talk about Margot Robbie, her opinion about the whole Harl Ivy ship. And we're also going to take a look at some kind of really cool fan-generated AI art. Again, we did this last week. We're going to do it this week for the Avengers. If Wes Anderson had directed it, Black Adam's box office not looking so good. Marvel is reevaluating its Phase 5 slate. What does that mean for the upcoming projects, the announced projects? We'll review the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. And so all that, plus, again, talking about what DC Studios should do. So, Lottie, we've got a good little bit to talk about. You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Now, let's hit it. Margot Robbie, as we all know, she is the, Harley Quinn, right? Like this, it's no denying it. As much as we love the animated Harley Quinn show, Margot Robbie is the face of Harley Quinn.
I mean, they copied her pretty much.
Well, yes, in a way, but also Margot Robbie's Harley is very much a product of the Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, their whole thing in the animated series. She is very much the that brought to life. But Margot Robbie, since she gets producer credits and stuff on anything that has to do with Harley now, including Birds of Prey and all that. And but she was asked about it for her new movie that's coming out, Babylon. But she was asked about Harley Quinn, and she said that she not only does she support the Harley and Ivy ship, but that she's been pushing to get it into live action. And I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit, and I wanted to get your reaction to that, Lottie.
Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing that, like, when I saw that they were going to have a romance, it's one of those things that is like, I was actually, you know how some people might find things shocking. It wasn't surprising, and to hear that this, she was all down for it. I mean, hey, horny guys, there's probably not going to get a kissing and outrageously kissing scene in DC. That's probably what they're going like. Oh yes, are we going to get a lesbian scene? No, that's not happening. But this is probably, hinting that in the future, because now we have the great James Gunn.
Yes. Who, by the way, what was literally was in season 3 of Harley Quinn.
Exactly. So we're probably going to get this in live action, maybe in the next Suicide Squad, hopefully.
Yes,
Especially
yes.
that James Gunn's up there. Actually, it's probably confirmed at this point. James Gunn's the boss man. He's probably going to have a sequel to Suicide Squad. So yeah, we'll probably get some form of this, or you know what I mean. Like I'm really cool. I'm down with this because Harl Ivy. It'll be cool because I can't wait till season 4 to see how they're like hate their rival. They're like arch nemesis, but they get home and cook meals for each other.
Yeah, it's like you're a Mac, I'm a PC. That's gonna be that same kind of energy.
I'll get you next time.
I'll see you at home, honey.
Yeah, I see you at home, honey.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely want to see this. I wanted them to bring that same energy. But who's going to be Ivy? That's the real big question. But there's a ton of women in Hollywood that could be Ivy. Hell, I honestly, if they brought Lake Bell in for it, who does the voice of, I would be down with that. I'd be totally cool with that. So, but I don't know. I just thought that was something neat that was mentioned, and I'm all for it. And Margot Robbie's all for it too. So let's just say she's got some juice and she can maybe make it happen. I also saw something else interesting. This is just, again, remember when I showed you that Black Panther visualization? This was really more, this is more fun. Wes Anderson, he's kind of known as a director for his very specific visual style, his storytelling. He's known for like that quirky weirdness. There's like his color palettes and lenses and everything, but he's always has real weird and kind of quirky, strange people as his characters like throughout his movies. And so this fan just kind of did like, well, what if we did Avengers but Wes Anderson in the 80s? And he ran all this through an AI art generator. And I have to say,
the 80s. I thought this was like the 1940s.
well, it looks sort of 70s ish, but it's really.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, if you know Wes Anderson movies, it really is this sort of thing. He has this certain way about him, throughout his movies, where he sort of looks like and so this is very much in the keeping with this. But even if you don't really know Wes Anderson movies, you have to admit that's a cool looking Captain America. And
Mutton chops Captain America.
he just mutton chops Captain America, and it looks almost like
Steampunk Iron Man.
And that's supposed to be Wasp. I don't know who that's supposed to be, Wasp or whatever next to him. But the shit looks cool though.
Isn't that Bucky? Is that Bucky right next to him? The other guy? That's probably Bucky.
Could be. You see the Black Panther one right beneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking like a straight set. Like he should. The only thing they did wrong here is that they didn't put him in a wicker chair. They went those big old wicker chair. That's the only thing that they didn't do right on that one.
And then Thanos, attorney at law. That's what it looks like.
He's having a philosophical. He looks like Tommy Lee Jones, as Thanos. And the little steampunk like little glasses and stuff. And but the Tony Stark one,
that big ass communicator.
Yeah, the Tony Stark one is dope though. Like that Iron Man actually looks like pretty tight. I mean, look, we'll never, and look at, you see the Ant-Man one,
the Ant-Man literally looks like if they were doing this back in the 70s.
Yeah,
that's how he will. Like the Ant-Man looks like when I first saw, like when I scrolled down and saw Ant-Man, I was like, oh yeah, that is exactly how he will look.
Right. Then there's a Guardians of the Galaxy one, and again, it's very sad. There's a lot of beige leather and like weird pseudo 70s stuff that's going on. That was pretty cool looking. The Hulk one. I mean, the Hulk one, it just looks like a weird wax statue, but it could have been the 70s Hulk there. And then they did the shawarma scene. So you have a Thor that looks like he has no muscle at all, but he's got like he's sort of Thor, or is that two Thors or something like that, a Loki or something like. It's such a weird little thing, and it's a very wonky, but because it looks like Thor has got like 6 fingers. But look, the color palette's right. It's very, like I said, it's very 70s, avocado green, beige and all that other stuff. And I think this just shows that, for better or for worse, AI art is here. AI generated art is here, probably to stay, at least for cheap previs or something like that. And this is as strange and interesting as this is. Man, if they actually made something with this, aesthetic, I'd at least show up just to see what the hell's going on. This looks like some weird some weird 70s, like,
If the Avengers met,
grindhouse, like some weird 70s grindhouse Avengers thing.
if the Avengers met Paul Burgundy.
Yeah, or Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy's Avengers. Oh man, that's once again fans doing cool stuff. I love, that's one thing I love about that this, being able to point out fans doing something cool rather than being like dickholes on the internet. So that's awesome. Y'all go check that out. Ladi, would it surprise you to know that Black Adam is not doing well at the box office? Like, it's been out 7 weeks. It hasn't even gotten to $400 million yet.
No, it doesn't surprise me. I wish it was doing better. I really do.
It just opened in its final territory. Japan didn't even make $1 million at the box office in Japan.
Oh.
And there's talk that it's definitely losing money. We knew it was going to lose money, but it seems to have possibly, losing upwards of $100 million. There's talk that, and it's been pushed back by some people at Warner Brothers, but the talk that they needed to clear 600 to break even. I figured if they spent about 200, that's close, 550-ish, in order to just break even. And they're clearly not going to make that. Ladi, we both liked this movie, right? We both liked it. Had a good time. I don't think either of us have seen it more than once, but we both quite liked it. This is a big L for not just Warner Brothers and DC, but also for The Rock, who doesn't make many L's. He doesn't get many L's in the box office. Is this, I mean, obviously this is bad, but is this bad for the future of the character or for its inclusion in DC, the DC films going forward, or even the relationship that The Rock has with DC?
I won't say this ends his character, but it definitely puts a sequel of him on hold, probably for the foreseeable future. And it's unfortunate because it's not a bad movie. It's actually, I won't say it's good, but it's like I tell everybody who asks me about it, I'm like, guys, it's a early 2000s superhero movie. It doesn't suck. I said the writing is not great, but it's action packed and you will be entertained watching it. And I just feel that DC right now is just suffering from bad imaging, imaging. Its reputation is not well. It's just people are not going. This is one of those movies that when it gets onto HBO Max or DVD, it'll probably do well.
Yeah. And my understanding is that in PVOD it's doing good, but
that's the problem, because this is not just like it happens. It's just like this with DC. What is it called? We saw it with last year, Suicide Squad. I mean, yeah, it was it was still during the pandemic. Some people didn't want to go, but still, that movie should not have done as bad as it did in the box office. It was a good movie. It one of the best movies that came out that year, in my opinion. Should have did a lot better than it did in the box office. Batman, The Dark Knight. The Batman should have been $1 billion movie,
Yeah.
but it didn't do that well because people are like so skeptical. Like me and you are into this stuff. There were so many people talking so bad about the Batman movie before it even came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were so cynical. DC has a bad image right now that I just hope that Zaslav is patient, just understands that you're just going to have to constantly keep coming out with these good movies and start making, because let's be honest, the MCU didn't start off every movie was getting billions of dollars. They started off a little slow with the Hulk movie, you know what I mean? Eventually they got to the point where they can make top-notch movies, and they're making upwards to 750 to $1 billion every movie. DC just has to get that audience back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so unfortunate because, like I said, this movie, in my opinion, easily should have made 600 million. Like it should have made 600 million because I'm telling you, I already can see when this movie gets on Disney Plus, you're gonna see all these YouTubers with the thumbnail seeing Black Adam for the first time. Oh,
Yeah, it's. I mean, th- this movie should have done better, but I think it wasn't original enough to warrant, having great box office. That's the truth. Like as much as I liked it, it really was a throwback to kind of a simpler time in superhero movies, and
yeah.
and it sort of suffers for that. Um, you know, the other DC movie that came out this year, was it the Batman? And I'm looking at its box office. It topped out at 770 million. Near on $771 million for worldwide, right?
And that should be $1 billion
And
movie. It
and
should have been.
yeah, and it's a great movie. It's a win. It's definitely a win for the studio. But that's the sort of an indicator. Even Black Panther, as I think it's a great movie, and a lot of people do also. But it's probably gonna make a bit more than the Batman did. That's there's the box office is a bit depressed, but that still doesn't excuse not even reaching $400 million with The Rock as the
Yeah.
as the star. There's no excuse for that. It's a failure. It's a failure on the part of uh, DC Films to shepherd a movie that should have been an easy win. And as we noted before, they made a lot of mistakes with setting it up. They're just not good at the cinematic universe thing. But we're hoping Gunn and Safran can kind of reverse that. I do not think that this is the end of The Rock as Black
No.
Adam in the DC universe. I don't think that a sequel is out of the question. I think that with the belt tightening going on at DC, and the fact that they made a Shazam movie for $90 million, that they can also make a Black Adam movie for $100 million, and that makes it a lot easier to if this movie had a budget of $100 million, this is a W, right? But it had a budget around $200 million, so it's a loss. If they can tighten their belts up, get their writing on point, get their writing on point, tighten their belts up, they can make a sequel to this, and it'll make money, it'll make sense. But they can't be playing this game right now of thinking that you throw the rock in front of something and you get $1 billion. That's just not going to happen. It's not how that works. So,
Yep.
well, we'll see. I think that obviously we haven't seen the last of the Rock, and we haven't seen the last of Black Adam, but I think it may be a few years until we see them properly. So we'll see. More information comes up, we'll let you guys know about it. Uh, Marvel is now into Phase 5. We're officially into Phase 5, and we had to put some of this what we're about to talk about in context. DC had not DC Disney had its earnings call, and Bob Chapek got ousted, and then Bob Iger is back and everything like that. Part of that is because Disney earnings are down, and there's a lot of shenanigans with trying to hide the losses of Disney Plus with earnings from other parts of the company. So let's just be clear: Disney Plus does not make money. But like, that should be like a no shit understanding. Like we got to know it's a streaming service. No streaming service makes money. Like not one of them makes money. Some of them lose less money than others, but none of them make money. It's because when people pay for something one time, that's that. When you and I go to see a movie, we're paying money every time to see that movie, right? As opposed to paying once a month to see whatever the hell we want on Disney Plus. So I was part of why Chapek got fired, and so as a part of that, Disney is reevaluating, their spending and what their output is going to be for Disney Plus in the future, because all these scripted shows cost a lot of money, and especially Marvel shows and Star Wars shows, and they don't necessarily pay for themselves in subscribers because we're already there. So part of this changes is possible reduced output for Marvel, but also that Feige and the brain trust over at Marvel Studios are also reevaluating their slate, and with a look to, as they say, quality over quantity. So maybe reducing the slate and tightening up everything and getting Kevin Feige more closely involved in what's in the decision making process over all of these things. Lottie, is any of the things I just said, is any of that a surprise to you at all?
No, I mean, it's just like how you were just saying. Streaming services don't they don't make money. I don't know why people think so. It's just, I'm just going to go a little bit off the thing. It is like, this is with like Microsoft. People think that Microsoft is making buku money on Game Pass, but literally the CEO of Xbox is literally saying we might have to increase prices because we're losing too much money. Guys, they're not making money. God dang, it's quite obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, of course, this is, and honestly, I think, like, Disney decreasing the content coming to Disney Plus. Of course. I mean, we talked about this. What was it? About, I think, a week or two ago. Yeah, I think 2 episodes ago about Black Panther coming to Disney Plus, and I told you to report that Black Panther might not be on Disney Plus until like February or March. Like, you think the heck no, they're not going to put that movie in. They want that movie to run as long as possible,
Right.
especially with they might re-release it when Black History Month comes up. You know what I mean? With the extended edition. You know what I mean? It's just like, honestly, I think a lot of companies need to tighten their belt. And it's not just it's everything. It's not just superhero. It's not just Disney, Warner Discovery. It's in everything. A lot of people need to tighten their belt. They made a lot of these companies made buku amount of money in the during the pandemic because everybody was at home just ready to spend money. Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, their subscriber counts went through the freaking roof. So they were just like, everybody was reactive to what was going on during the pandemic instead of being, understanding, people are just doing this because they have nothing to do. So companies started saying, okay, we need to start pushing out content, make content, pushing out content. So you're seeing, Marvel making a lot of these shows, putting on Disney Plus, putting all these movies on Disney Plus because they want to keep those subscriber counts. But it doesn't matter. You're not going to keep all those million subscribers. It's going to fall down because people have other things to do.
Yep.
So it makes sense now that a lot of this stuff has to decrease. A lot of because I'm gonna just be honest. I think, in my opinion, movie slash TV streaming has almost reached its ceiling. Like I think it's it's not going to get that much better
Hmm.
than it is. Because
You're probably right about that.
I think because at this point you pretty much got the people who want to see your stuff, and then there's just going to be people that just don't care.
Or
They
they
just don't care,
or they jump in and out. You know,
or they jump in and out. They come in when there's a deal. They'll watch all their stuff in that month, and then peace out. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean that they call that churn, but like it's not just churn. The thing is that yes, you have X number of subscribers and they pay you every month. All right, you have a constant revenue stream, but companies, the companies they want growth. It's not good enough to just maintain. In the business world, everyone's always wanting more. No one's ever satisfied with just staying where you are. They want more. And there is, as you said, a ceiling to how much you can grow your subscriber base, and then your revenue is capped, but you're still spending money making more things to keep those people there. That's not really a good way to go about it. So now you're starting to see people do ad supported tiers again. We're slowly but surely broadcast TV and network TV practices are making their way back into our homes because
Yep.
we the streaming services are seeing like we need money to come somewhere, and
Yeah.
advertising is the way to go. We even on uh, things you pay for, you could pay for the premium service and still have to watch ads. So that's all what's going on. But the other aspect of this is that there Kevin Feige being stretched too thin and everything like that. Now they're trying to get a lot more quality control over what's coming out of Marvel. To which I say yes. I'm not against that. And you know me, I'm the biggest damn cheerleader for Marvel, and I've liked everything they've put out. Not everything's equal, obviously, but I've liked everything they've put out so far on Disney Plus, and in the last few years. But I'm like, yes, more quality control. Why the hell not? I would love for that. I would. You know what I'd love even more than that? If they'd get it out of the hands of Kevin Feige. Not that he's not good at it, but the man can't be fucking overseeing every damn thing personally. It's just not possible. He should be able to, hand it off to other people and trust that they'll know what the hell is going on. So I see this as good news. Other people are like, oh, this may be a warning sign for Marvel. I'm like, no, they've gotten their feedback and they've realized, all right, it's time to readjust some things. We're not going to change. They're not going to change strategy. They're just going to adjust the way that they're going about their business. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You wouldn't expect, you wouldn't expect a football team to keep running the same five fucking plays if they get stuffed. You know,
Hmm.
maybe two of those plays are still doing what they're supposed to, and three of them need to be adjusted. Maybe you know what I'm saying? That's smart. So I don't see this as a problem. I see this as great. They're responsive to what's going on, and so that's just going to make things better, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see. We're going to see where that sorts itself out, in particular because uh, there's a few things like Blade that could benefit from this change. So we'll let you guys know more about that as we learn. Let's talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. They premiered it down at the CCXP down in Brazil, but we got to see it this last week. And Ladi, man, it was glorious. Can I just say, like, I love that trailer. I'm you know, we are constantly talking about how great we think James Gunn is and his vision, and I think, you know, probably one of the you know, without reservation, one of the greatest wins for the MCU has been the Guardians. It it is one of the best, like taking characters that nobody knew about and making them household names and beloved by fans. I mean, James Gunn, he should be no, he could do nothing else with the rest of his life, and I'd still be like, but that guy gave us the Guardians though.
Yeah.
And the trailer looked like more of the same, like more of the like, yeah, I'm ready for this. This things are, you know, as he, you know, we're promised there's going to be some pretty highly emotional stuff going on in there, pretty crazy looking things. There's a lot of like crazy sci-fi stuff going on, and of course the Guardians that we love, and we also got to see two characters that I'm fucking pumped for because you know I know who the hell they are. Regular people, they don't, you know, they just watch this shit. They don't know what this is. But seeing Adam Warlock in the High Evolutionary was fucking awesome. So, Lottie, you got to see the trailer. What'd you think?
This is like James Gunn's about to put us through the house of pain. Cause my goodness, man, that I ain't gonna lie, that just gave me goosebumps. But
You
that
too. Oh,
man
you too.
said,
Okay, you too. I thought I was the only one. I was like, hold my, you know, my hairs are standing up on my arms. It was crazy.
and that man said, when we fly off into that blue sky one last time, I said, "Ah." I'm like, oh, he's about to put us in the house of pain again. I'm like, oh man, then clearly we're gonna get some backstory with Rocket. You know, clearly two people in the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to die in this movie, and I think I know who are the two. I think I know who the two are. Uh, I think it's going to be Rocket and Drax. I think Rocket and Drax are gonna die in the movie.
Hmm. I mean, Drax is a good guess because I don't think Dave Bautista is coming back to Marvel. But gosh, it's not. It's that, and you know, you got Gamora, and she, you know, this other Gamora that's coming back. You know, Nebula's around. Um, like I said, the High Evolutionary is clearly going to be the bad guy. But which, by the way, Chikwudi Iwuji, you know, he was Myrn in Peacemaker. To see him
Hmm.
show up in Marvel, that's, I mean, it's awesome. First of all, he's great, and he looks so fucking good in this. Uh, uh, you know, seeing Adam Warlock, like y'all just don't know how big a fucking deal that is. Like it's Adam Warlock was a pretty badass dude in the comics. Um, and obviously the Guardians themselves, you know, Mantis is going to get a higher profile role. I know that we're also going to see Cosmo. I mean, like this is going to be this. I'm super excited for this movie. The like that trailer just like sent me over the top, and also it was hilarious. The whole what Drax hit smashing that girl in the face with the little ball was
Yeah, so
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be great. Um, so, man, what a great first trailer, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next one, next to the full trailer where we see what this is really all about. And it's can you believe it's next May that this is coming out? So we got like you know a little more you know like 5.5 months to go. So
mhm.
anyway, when that next trailer comes out, we're definitely going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's all of our news for this week. I'm I feel like we covered everything, but you know what? Maybe we missed something, or maybe you have something to say about our commentary. Get down to the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow at gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. All right, so let's move on to our main topic, which is we're talking about what should DC Studios be doing once they're done with the current slate of like DC films. So we know that there's a few that they have in the hole that were in progress. Like for instance, or was it Blue Beetle? I don't know if you saw that they had a promo picture. It was just like a real quick promo, like a poster that James Gunn posted. So Blue Beetle is definitely moving forward, and they had some behind the scenes stuff. And we know, of course, Aquaman. The Aquaman 2 is coming out. Shazam 2 is coming out. These are all things that are, in production, in the pipeline from DC Films. But DC Studios, after that, the sky's the limit, right? So, Lottie, I thought it'd be fun for us to just, say what do we think they should and or will be doing? What do we want to see from them? Just a few ideas that maybe James Gunn can run and Peter Safran can run with. So, Lottie, I don't know. What do you think? I think the number one thing I think we're going to both agree on. I think the
Yes.
number one property, this is a no brainer. They more or less, without saying that they're going to do it, they've said they're going to do it. It's got to be Superman.
Yes.
If DC Studios doesn't lead with Superman, I don't. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna flip out.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, the list should just be Superman and end right there. Because if DC Films or DC Studios, if I see their first movie something else, I will. I love my TV, so I won't break it. But I'll turn my TV off.
Yeah. Come on. Like, why wouldn't they? There's been the thing about this is that there's so much build up to this. Like, they literally just, teased him in Black Adam. Everyone knows that Zaslav is just like, why the fuck aren't y'all doing Superman? And Henry Cavill's great. There's no reason to not lead with Superman. And in fact, I'd say if they do lead with Superman, that's signaling that they have in hand like a bold vision. Not because Superman's like a bold choice. Superman's not a bold choice, but he's a smart choice because he is literally the face of DC. He is the man. He is the guy. Like, I know people think Batman, yeah. Superman's the face of DC. He should be leading the charge for the DC Studios. The cinematic universe that's going to be, spawned by DC Studios. And the fans want it. The fans want it. This is one thing I think that even Snyder stands and regular old DC fans can just agree on, that we need another damn Superman.
Yeah.
So that's a no-brainer. That's number one. That should be out the gates. After that, I wonder, what do you think? What do you think else they should be doing?
The Batman too.
Well,
The Batman too.
that is obvious. Let me just say that's obviously going to happen, and I'll agree. I didn't put it on my list only because I already know it's going to happen. But this, what I mean by this is, DC Studios, their cinematic universe, connected cinematic universe work. So we know the Batman's coming.
If I had to choose another movie, I would love a live action Teen Titans movie. Please, God, yes, James Gunn. God, please, I'm begging you, please, James Gunn. Oh, I will, I would. You don't know I will do to watch that movie. I would. Oh my goodness. I love Teen Titans, and to see James Gunn do a live action, I will lose my shit.
Let's keep in mind, he's not gonna be doing Teen Titans.
No, I know he won't be doing it,
yeah.
But the simple fact that he's like the head of DC,
right,
and will have direct. Oh my goodness.
He'll have oversight over.
I would love.
And I kind of want to say, like, as an aside, one of the things I'm excited about DC Studios is seeing who they pick to write these things. Because James Gunn, he doesn't just direct; he writes his movies. Right? He wrote the Suicide Squad. He wrote Peacemaker. He wrote Guardians 1, 2, and 3. Right? So he's that sort of person. So he knows how to write good characters and good story. I want to see who they end up rolling with to write these things, and how James Gunn is going to be and Peter Safran are going to be choosing these people. So, you want a Teen Titans? Who are they going to get to write that? I'm all for Teen Titans. Let me just say, I didn't put them on my list because we already sort of have. The main reason why I didn't put them on the list is because Justice League needs to be established. That's my main reason why I didn't. Before any other super group comes up, I want the Justice League to be properly established. Even though I didn't put Justice League on this, but I did it for a reason. So I think Teen Titans are good. That's a good call though. I put on my next one was Lobo, only because, and this is for two reasons. One, there needs to be more cosmic stuff in DC, and for two, because Lobo is sort of the DC's answer to Deadpool, so, right? And there definitely is a lot of interest, not just from the fans, but from the studio wanting to do it. And I think that them wanting to get their own Deadpool, that makes all the sense in the world. You know, it. I think that that's a character. It's first of all, it's one character, so they don't have to pay a ton of people to be in this movie. And like I said, they open up the cosmic side of the DC universe. And as long as they don't go overboard on CG, it shouldn't be terribly expensive to work. So I don't know. Would you be interested if they decide to go with Lobo?
Love Lobo. I would love to see a Lobo movie. He was trending on Twitter. I think yesterday. He was trending. It was yesterday or Saturday. I can't remember. Did you see it?
I didn't see that, but I'm not surprised because he trends periodically whenever DC fandom gets kind of like worked up, and since Gunn and Safran have taken over, actually, I think it probably has been trending, periodically because it's pretty clear that they are working through who they're going to push. And so why not? Why not, boost him up on social media? So I think that would be an easy call.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
This movie, I have been calling DC to do this for a very long time, especially because me being African, of course, Black Panther is connected to me because I'm African and of course it's from Africa. But I think this is an easy slam dunk for DC. I'm still to this day baffled that nobody in DC, whoever these people getting paid millions of dollars, which I'm pretty sure this is just an easy win. A Static Shock movie. Why hasn't there been a Static Shock movie yet? Like
they are working on one right now, right?
They are.
Yeah, they are working on one right
now. Like I mean, seriously, because I heard them working on Static Shock movies for like the last 10 years, and it's never came out.
They've been working on. It's been in development for a couple years now. So I think it's I honestly do think that they actually are going to follow through on it.
Okay. So if not Static Shock, how
about
I got one. This is a deep cut character. Very deep cut character. And I feel he is actually more Deadpool than Lobo. Freakazoid. I would love a Freakazoid movie. I would love a Freakazoid movie. Oh, I would love it. I would absolutely love a Freakazoid movie.
The Freakazoid callback, yo.
I would love a Freakazoid movie. Oh, freak out! I would love that.
I'll say this much: with James Gunn at the helm, you actually have it's a much better chance of that happening than when the previous leadership of DC was around. There's a way better chance because James Gunn loves weird characters. He loves out of the way, esoteric. You have to know comics for real to know these characters. So that's not a crazy thought, honestly. It could very well happen. I'll put it very low on the list, but like it could happen.
Mhm.
I think, and I think this is going. This is going back to the fact that this is actually being worked on. They're still talking about it, but I'm gonna count it for DC Studios because I feel like it's probably gonna get overhauled anyway. But Green Lantern, they're working on the Green Lantern core, but they need to properly bring Green Lantern into the DC universe. It is fucking criminal that he wasn't in Justice League. I'm sorry, whichever Green Lantern you like, if you're Hal Jordan or Kyle Rayner or any of those people, whichever one you like, it is criminal that they did not have that the Snyder version of the Justice League had no Green Lantern. How dare them? How dare he leave them out? It's if you think about in the DC universe, it's Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, the Flash, and then Green Lantern, right?
Yep.
How could you leave Green Lantern out? That they need to redeem this character from the Ryan Reynolds version that I liked, but what not a lot of people didn't like. But also because it's such a rich corner of the DC universe. It's cosmic, but also it takes place on Earth. You know, it's got a huge cast of characters, and it's got an interesting and wide-ranging lore. Why can't they make this happen? I want my Green Lantern, damn it. Lottie, Green Lantern, yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Now here's the question: which Green Lantern do you do? Because
John
I'm going
Stewart,
to.
John
Yes,
motherfucking
because
Stewart. That's what it is.
I'm telling you right now, even the fandom menace agrees. Jon Stewart is the one you do. He's just more popular than Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan is. Don't get me wrong. He was cool. When I was a little kid, I like him, but Jon
Yeah,
Stewart is the one to go with.
yeah.
Man, I love Jon Stewart's Green Lantern. Oh
And I'm
man,
just saying, Michael B. Jordan is right there.
yes,
I'm just look, he's right there. Just go get him. Just, I mean, come on, James Gunn, Green Lantern. Let's do it. All right. What's your next one?
Hmm. See, I don't want to do obvious ones because I feel like, of course, we'll get these movies. Um, of course, I feel like we will get a Green Lantern movie. I kind of want to do ones that is kind of like it's out there, but there's like a possible way that it can happen. Um, I I want to say it. I want to say it, and I think you know what I want to say, but I just know it may never happen. It may never ever happen. But damn it, I'm gonna say it anyways. I want a Batman Beyond movie. I know it will never
Yes.
happen. I know it will probably never happen. But I want a Batman Beyond movie. Just to see Batman in a futuristic dystopian future. In a dystopian future that has Batman. Sort of like the new Total Recall, but Batman's in it. Like something like that. Like I know it probably will never happen because even if I was the head of DC, as much as I want to see a Batman Beyond movie, that will be at the bottom of my list too. Because first of all, we got to get this shit rolling first.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I want to put it there because I feel like it will be a very, very cool movie. Maybe in like 2050 when we're old as fuck, they probably might make it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's definitely a further down the line, a property. As much as there's a big fan base for it. That's definitely it. But I think you have to establish Batman within the DC universe, the new DC extended universe or whatever, cinematic universe. Um, I mean, and I didn't even put Batman on this because I think that we have Batman all the fucking time. But to that end, I do have one that's close enough to that, and that is a movie version of what was in the comics called Trinity, which was literally a Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman team up book. Make a movie, and they are the three. Whatever the threat is, one, two, three, they are the Trinity that's gonna deal with the problem. They don't need no Justice League. They don't need any hangers on. They don't need no fucking Lois Lane. None of that stuff. The three of them teaming up, kicking ass, and taking aim and establishing why they are the big three. That's
Yep.
once again, this seems fucking obvious to me. Like I don't, I have yet to understand that they didn't need to make Justice League first. But let's say they did. I mean, Batman v Superman was sort of the Trinity movie, but they still it wasn't really. It was really two people, but still, I think that they missed an opportunity to have the three of them as teammates, not as adversaries, working together to kick the shit out of some problem that requires, you know, two godlike beings and the smartest man on earth. That's, I think it's a no brainer. um, so what's your next one?
Okay, so my final one is, I already mentioned the Superman, uh Teen Titans, and pretty much a lot of the stuff. You already mentioned Green Lantern, because that will be one of the names that I will have on my list as well. Um, for my final pick, I probably will, because you pretty much all the stuff that has been named, and we're going to, I was going to say, but we're already getting him too. And we are getting that movie, because I was going to say that too. I'm actually quite not sure, because we pretty much named everything. Because the last thing on my list was Green Lantern. So I'm trying to think of something else that I would love to see.
I was gonna say I have two. I have two left. If you'll indulge me.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, one of them was obvious. I demand a Suicide Squad sequel. In light of Peacemaker and the fact that the Suicide Squad was so fucking awesome, I demand a sequel to that with James Gunn at the helm. I don't think we're gonna get it, but damn it, I want a sequel to that. And just see. The thing is, it doesn't even have to be the same group of people. Like, he could literally just go get, 8 new shitty bad guys, and make them awesome. So I definitely want a Suicide Squad sequel. But I would trade that for a Justice Society movie, because damn it, they were cool as hell. And there was only 4 of them, but the Justice Society, the small amount we saw of them, a number of them we saw in Black Adam, was so intriguing that I would really, really like to see an actual Justice Society movie or a TV show or whatever, however the fuck they want to do it, so that we can actually see the origin of them and see, Dr. Fate, Hawkman, Atom Smasher, Cyclone, and then all of the other characters, that are actually in the Justice Society. In addition to them, Our Man, what's I'm trying. It's not Lady Liberty, but I forget. Stargirl, stuff like that. I want that. Like, there's not. I was saying before, they haven't established the Justice League, but if they don't, throwing the Justice Society in there would be pretty awesome. So, I don't know what do you think about those two?
Yeah. Those are definitely, like I said, I already know that I feel like we're going to get a Suicide Squad sequel, because James Gunn is pretty much, now the head of DC. So that, I feel like, especially how well, Peacemaker did, I can definitely see them doing another Suicide Squad movie. And also the Justice Society. That's another, like, really cool thing that they can do. Probably later on, when they get the Justice League established. You know what I mean? Because I have a movie that I really would love to see now. and it just came when you said Justice Society. Either one of these two. Either one of these two. A Justice League movie where they fight the Justice Lords, or a Justice League movie where they come across evil Superman.
You're right.
I would love to see the Justice Lord one. I feel will be. I feel will be a little too hard to do because then you'll have to do so many different, you'll have to have so many different camera angles because you'll have the actors from different universes and, different things. I think evil Superman, where like something happened to him where his face is altered or his body or face is altered. That would be really cool. I would love to see because there is a Superman he was around kryptonite for too long and mutated his body, and he actually lives off of kryptonite.
Yeah, I think my only thing is that there's so many evil Supermans running around in pop culture now that
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
and honestly, there are a lot of really good villains in DC.
Oh yeah, I would love to see them do Dark Side, right? I would love to see them do Brainiac. Brainiac and Darkseid fuse.
Well, I would love to see Lex Luthor be the worst.
Oh yeah,
his worst self, Vandal Savage. Ra's al Ghul is of course, he's the man at street level, but he's also a big schemer. I mean, we haven't even talked about Solomon Grundy or
oh yes,
fucking Bizarro.
Yeah, how he wants pants too.
Yeah, I mean, just like there's a ton of like really good, serious threats. We hadn't talked about the new gods. We hadn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a ton of serious threats. Hell, Parallax is such a fucking badass that even Superman has a problem with Parallax.
Yeah, and then we have the big baddie, which is probably going to be like
Are
Justice League. Justice probably be like Justice League. Yeah, the Anti-Monitor. That'll probably like Justice League 5 or something. Justice League 3.
That's why I have not understood why DC has had such a problem with their connected universe. They've got a ton of great bad guys. They've got a ton of great heroes. They've got all sorts of great places to visit. I don't understand this. They have everything that Marvel has had to make a great cinematic universe. DC has. What they haven't had is the vision and the leadership and the patience to make it all come together.
And here's the one thing they have way well over Disney. They own all the characters outright. They don't have to do any write-arounds, change characters' names. They own every character outright. So the simple fact, it's not like Disney has to make deals with their, because their poster child, Spider-Man, they don't own him. So they have to do deals to just get him in a movie. They own Superman. They own Batman. They own Wonder Woman. They own the whole entire DC universe. Plus other things that have came across DC universe. So they can even do obscure things like DC freaking in the, what's it called? Because it's an official comic now. DC with Mortal Kombat. It's an official comic now. There's just so many things that they own that they don't have to write around. They don't have to use obscure characters. They can literally use, like you said, they can literally eat off the Trinity for years to come. And then if they start getting, if they feel like they're getting too fat off the Trinity, they can move to Green Lantern. They can move to the Teen Titans. They can make a Justice League movie. They can make a Cyborg movie. They can make a Martian Manhunter movie. There's so many, because these characters are known. People know. Like I can bet this. People know Martian Manhunter more than they knew the Guardians of the Galaxy back in 2014. I can almost guarantee you that. Yeah. People knew who Martian Manhunter was more than they knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were.
Yeah, so they got the tools at their disposal. The thing is that, and the reason why we're talking about this is that that now they have the leadership that knows that they know this stuff, and they have proven that they can actually execute. So I'm very, very optimistic. And James gonna ignore everything we just said. We're fans and we're just interested. You do what you're gonna do because clearly you know what the hell you're doing, and we can't wait to see what's gonna happen. So anyway, this was fun. I like talking about this. But anyway, what do you guys think about our ideas? Or maybe you have some other ideas that you want to flow past us. Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there about that. And while you're down there, hit the like button on this video. Hit the notification bell. Hit that subscribe button. Helps to grow the channel. Helps the algorithm, so more people see these videos. And of course, I can't do the Supercast by myself. I need my good friend Ladi to help me out with his knowledge of all this superhero stuff. So, Ladi, where can they reach you on your social media?
Yeah, you can always find me on my Instagram page, which is Anu Kinihun. It's again spelled ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. And of course, my Twitter page, which is the same name. It's the same name, by the way. I'm actually tweeting out more, trying to get more involved with my Twitter because Twitter is up in a frenzy, so more people are on Twitter now. Also, you can also find me on my YouTube page, which I'm going to start uploading shorts, so hopefully I can get more subscribers, which is KeeneyHoon25. If you ever have time, you can, follow me on my my Instagram, my Twitter, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I promise there's great content on there. I've been just can't stop playing God of War. Eventually, once I'm done 100%, I'll be back to uploading more content. But you can enjoy the stuff that I have on there already, which is a lot.
Yeah, you guys go check out Ladi's various social medias. Show some love. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. All right, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, thanks for joining us. This is the 78th episode of actually 79th episode of the Supercast. Come back next week. We got more to talk about. I want to say we're going to start getting ready to talk about our year-end things on the show. It's been quite a year, so we got a lot to cover. Until then, I've been Mo De Pape, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.